What's up, fight fans? MMA Locker Room here, part of Pick Dawgz, and I'm going to be going over UFC 299. All the fights on there, give you guys my picks and my predictions, because, man, we got a stacked card, so I got to get this out early for you guys, man. 14 fights, headlined by Sugar Sean O'Malley, taking on Vera. Co-main event, Dustin Poirier. Michael Venom Page takes on Kevin Holland. Man, what about Gilbert Burns taking on Jack Della? Man, we got some great fights to talk about, man. But before we do that, how'd you guys do last week out there, man? Hopefully we all cashed. On the picks and predictions, some of the dogs was barking on there. A few of them was a big dog. I mean, whoever played Sahabi, they definitely came up on him. He was like a plus 500. Shout out to the people who had Rosenstruck. That was kind of a 50-50 fight. I thought Gaziev was going to win. And my boy Kareem Al-Sawadi, he wasn't able to get it done, man. He looked good in the first round. Got knocked out in the second round. That's how it goes in the fight game, though. And I know a lot of people lost, man, with Basharat, inside those parlays. And we wasn't able to hit Makayev inside the distance. And we wasn't able to hit Basharat to win by decision, but that's just how it goes some days. You get knocked down, you get back up. So we got a lot to talk about and a lot to bet on. So let me know who you guys are looking at this week so we can talk about it and converse all week. But before we do that, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because that's what we do over at Pick Dawgz. We're going to be giving you guys the most exclusive content all week, so stay tuned. First fight of the night, Joanne Calderwood, 16 wins, 8 losses, taking on Miranda Moroz, 11 wins, 5 losses. This is a rematch, okay? Both these women fought already, and they did. Moroz was able to win. I think she won by submission early in like round 2. With this being said, both the women in their last couple of fights hasn't looked that good, but Miranda Moroz, she's been fighting way more active. I mean, losses to Karine Silva, no problems with that. But Joanne Wood, she's been playing the I want to sit back and retire game. What do you mean by that? She's not as active no more. And I've been hearing through interviews that this might be her last fight. She's going to retire after this fight. The contracts of styles, though, you got one striker and you got a grappler that's going to try to get you down to the ground in this one. In this one, Miranda Moroz is like a -2-1 favorite. I think she gets it done. I'm going to go with the sub, too. I think that's how she won in the first fight. I think she's going to win by sub. But if this goes to the scorecards, yes, Joanne Calderwood does have a little bit of path to victory, because the amount of strikes that she lands compared to Moroz, they're definitely way more. She's landing about 6.9 strikes in their 15 minutes in the cage compared to Moroz with 4.15. But when it comes down to it, I think Moroz gets it done. First fight of the night. Second fight of the night. All right, CJ Vagara. 12 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, taking on Asu Almabayev. 18 wins, 2 losses. Asu's a 4-1 favorite on there. Made his debut against O'Day Osborne. He was able to get that fight done. CJ Vagara, I mean, they kind of got him in the UFC and thrown him to some wolves, and he was able to fend off and fight for himself, man. He has a win over Clayton Rodriguez in a fight that I thought that he lost. So did the MMA community. But then he backed it up with, a loss to Shirataro. But then he has another win over like Vinicius de Salvador and Daniel Lacerda as well. I was actually at that fight, man. He was running around in the cage in there. When it comes down to it, though, man, you got a grappler and a Sioux. And an all-around game fighter in CJ Vagara. But if Asaria is able to get you down to the ground, that's his path to victory in here. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. Parlaying 400 on a game fighter like CJ Vagara, I don't recommend it, but the pick is Asu. I think he does win in here. But for the people out there that just look at like a big price tag on a favorite and think he's supposed to win, trust me, this ain't that. This ain't sports. This is people in there getting they face punched in and getting choked out. This is not, 5 guys playing against the next 5 and who's the better guy at dribbling and passing the ball. This the fight game, folks. So stay away from those big chalky parlays if you can, okay? Because it's not all about the number, it's about the value, okay? Next fight coming up, big boys. Robelis Despaigne, 4-0, taking on Josh Parisian, 15 wins, 7 losses. Robelis is a 3-1 favorite on there, okay? I know a lot of people are like, who? What? Yeah, nobody knows who he is. He came up out of nowhere. He's a gold medalist or bronze taekwondo specialist. But On the local scenes, he's been doing these flash knockouts that just got him signed. I mean, I think on the last promotion he was fighting for, the minute after he knocked him out, I think it was in the first round, in the first 30 seconds, he got signed to the UFC, like within the next 5 minutes. It's crazy. Josh Parisian, I mean, he's been fighting in the UFC for a while. He should have the fight experience, the fight IQ, but I don't think nobody's going to be able to take those power punches from him, man. I think Blaydes wins in the first round. I think he gets it done by KO, man. I'm not going to even spend too much time on that fight. To me, it's not nothing that I want to spend my money on. Next fight on the card, now this one is taking place in the middleweight division. Michel Pereira, 29 wins, 11 losses, taking on Michael Oleksiejczuk, 19 wins, 6 losses. All right, man. Michel Pereira is opening up a -135 favorite up to like a -150 now. Let's go give him his accolades, man. I think he's on a 5-fight win streak right now, moving up to this weight class, former welterweight, but he has wins over fighters like Ponzinibbio, Chaos Williams, I want to say, some other good people too in there, man. It's not coming to mind, but this is going to be his second fight now in this weight class. He's taking on a fighter who's actually new to the weight class as well. But he was fighting at light heavyweight stepping down. He stepped out, first debut, looking like he got the job done against Chidi and Chukwe. But before that, he did take the loss to Cairo Berhelo, but that was in a different weight class. That was against a submission specialist. Both these fighters going to stand in there and bang. It's going to be, I think, one of the better fights on the card in here. I like Michel Pereira a lot in here, man. I think if he mixes in the wrestling, mixes in the takedowns a little bit, he's going to be, giving Michael that fight that he's not used to. Why? Because the way Pereira goes around there, he's not coming forward in you. He's coming with angles. He's not going to stand around there for you to get hit, and I don't think that's going to be enough for Michael to get it done in here. But if he cracks him, which of course anybody can get cracked, yes, maybe he can catch him. But I really like the way Pereira's been fighting. A lot of people like to say he has bad fight IQ. I agree, but I think the way that he's been in the last year and a half compared to how he was when he first came in the UFC, man, he improved dramatically on here. When it comes to the striking, I give him a C. When it comes to the wrestling, I give him a C. Cardio, I give him a C. Fight IQ, I give him a D. But, when it comes down to it overall, I think he's a good fighter. And Michel, I was on the train with him. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't get into those late round fights, so you can't really see how he is later on in the fights. Pierre, I've seen how he is, man. He can put together a game plan and win by decision too, or else he could go on there and knock you out. His last fight against Adrian Petroski, man, he put him out in the first round. Give me Pierre in this one, man. I think he gets it done. And I gotta always say, man, I got 3 G's, Stick to your guys, stick to your gut, and stick to your guns. Pierre is one of my guys, man, so I'm going to go ahead and ride out with him. Next fight taking place, all right, Ian Cutelaba, 17 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, taking on Phillips, 17 wins with 5 losses. Both these fighters were supposed to fight before, and Phillips had to pull out because I think he was sick or got injured or something like that. He wasn't healthy. Pretty sure he got sick in the week of the fight. Cutelaba is opening up a -130 favorite in there. Phillips has shown, in his last couple of fights, he trimmed down his body size and got way in better shape and showing, hey, man, I'm not just that former PFL fighter who won $1 million and is here to just, walk through the cage. I'm here to get some wins. But the way that he gets his wins is nothing that impresses. He keeps people up against the cage. He's a grappler at that. Decent striking, but not a lot of volume. Only lands about 3.59 strikes per volume. On the other hand, Cutelaba, man, he's a southpaw, man. He's out there throwing everything he got into his power in his punches, man. He's been mixing in the takedowns recently as well. And he's one of those guys to where it's hard to trust because the fight IQ. But when Cutelaba's on, he's on. And here, I think Cutelaba gets it done in here. So I think, yeah. I say third round. Man. I say second round finish or even just win by decision, man. Mixing the wrestling, keep Phillips down. Next fight taking place in the bantamweight division. Pedro Munoz, 20 wins, 8 losses, taking on Kyler Phillips with 11 wins and 2 losses. Kyler Phillips on a roll right now, man. He's been putting together wins and wins and wins. Last fight out, got a win against Barcelos. Pedro Munoz, it's kind of like, he's taking a win, taking a loss, taking a win, taking a loss. But let's go ahead and get down to it. Kyler Phillips is a -260 favorite, -240. I think the value is with Pedro Munoz in here. The fight resume of him is way better than Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips has shown in all of his fights, he pretty much loses the third round. Pedro Munoz usually turns up as fights goes. He's one of those guys that's going to go out there and spam a lot of leg kicks for you. The strikes on both these fighters are pretty much compatible in it. So if you guys are, I would say this. The value side is Pedro Munoz. I think Kyler Phillips gets it done. I think that he's just a way better fighter, the way younger fighter out here. I think the card is based upon him shining. Why do you say that? He's a teammate of Sean O'Malley, MMA Lab. Usually they fight on the same card, and one wins, the other one wins. It kind of makes them both look good. I know, I get it. But look, man, it's been going on, and they've been able to execute on here. I think Kyler Phillips gets it done. The best bet in here is fight goes the distance. I think Kyler Phillips win by decision in that fight. Next fight taking place, man, the lightweight. Matthias Gamrot, 23 wins, 2 losses, taking on Rafael Dos Anjos, 32 wins, 15 losses. Gamrot opened up a -350 favorite. He's up to a -400 now. Gamrot is as advertised, man. I think he's the third best lightweight in the UFC right now. When it comes to his fight IQ, I give him an A. When it comes to his fight resume, I give him an A. When it comes to his striking, I give him a C. Rafael Dos Anjos, if this was maybe 3 years ago, he would have a better chance right now. But he's just been kind of getting fed those gatekeeper roles in here, and I think it's going to be another one of those spots. I think Gamrot gets it done in there. And this one, I wouldn't even be surprised if he can finish him. So I say third round or decision in that one. Next fight, first women's flyweight, man. All right. Caitlin Cerminara, a.k.a. Caitlin Chokakian, 18-5, taking on Macy Barber, 13 wins, 2 losses. Macy Barber opened up a -190 favorite. Now she's up to like a -210. Caitlin Chokakian, the storyline on her, I mean, she was on a roll before she ran a man in Ferro. We made money with her a lot over here. She got that win over Amanda Ribas. She's been able to put together a nice little fight resume and catalog of wins, when it comes down to it. Strikes per minute is kind of going to be around the same. The difference is Caitlin, when she strikes, you can hear her because she's making those loud noises in there. Macy Barber has that it factor. She goes after it. She was one of the first girls that I said that has that switch. Just that switch, man. That switch, when they turn it on, they go it on. Aggression is always there, man. I think Macy Barber is going to be able to get this one done in here. She was one of the girls that wanted to be the first youngest women MMA champion and stuff. She has this little thing saying it's time. I think it's Macy Barber's time, y'all. And it's one of those things to where she started off as being one of my girls that I love to bet, love to back. And she was always still there, but I just looked away in a few fights, I had Miranda Maverick versus her in a fight that, Macy Barber showed why she was at. And then I actually took Alexa Grasso, I think, in the fight that Macy Barber had. And I think Macy Barber ended up winning that or something crazy. But I went against her a couple of times. But, hey, over the time that showed, she's been putting in that work, going to different camps and stuff. Give me my girl back, man. I'm taking Macy Barber, man. I'm taking her to get the win in here, man. I actually think she's going to win inside the distance. I think if she hits the body on Caitlin Chokakian or Caitlin Cerminara, she's going to fold like a lawn chair, okay? Next fight on the card, big boys. Curtis Blaydes, 17-4, taking on Almeida, 21 wins, 2 losses. Man, this line flipped. Curtis Blaydes was an underdog. Now he's a -120 favorite. Almeida, man, come on now. He's as advertised in the UFC. But the people don't like him because the last fight out against Derek Lewis, everybody having to win inside the distance, and he just laid on top of him and didn't finish him. And it showed, hey, man, there's holes in your games and there's flaws. Curtis Blaydes is overall one of the better fighters in the UFC. Improved every single time that he steps in the cage. Took a few losses, when he did get steps up in competition. Man, I'm going back and forth on this one. Let's go ahead and figure it out, man. The fight IQ, I got to go with Curtis Blaydes. The fight resume, I got to go with Curtis Blaydes. The striking, I got to go with Curtis Blaydes. The cardio, I got to go with Curtis Blaydes. Finishability, I give it to John Almeida. That's really it when it comes down to it. Man, but I think John Almeida has a path to victory by taking Curtis Blaydes down and subbing him. So my pick on this one, I'm taking João Almeida. Why? I've been betting both these guys, but I'm a little bit more profitable betting João Almeida than I am recently on Curtis Blaydes. And sometimes Curtis Blaydes can go out there and not do what you want him to. He can stand out there and try to strike instead of going for a takedown. In this case, you want him to strike and not get taken down. Don't know what you can get, but I know João Almeida is going to go out there and try to get that sub done. Next fight on the card, Song Yadong, 21 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, taking on Peter Yan, 16 wins, 5 losses. Song Yadong's the underdog in here, plus 110. To be honest with you guys, I think he wins. Point blank period. I can't trust anything from Peter Yan. Don't like the way that he looked in his last 4 fights, okay? Song Yadong gets it done. Banger alert, Jack Della Maddalena, 16 wins, 2 losses, taking on Gilbert Burns, 22 wins, 6 losses. Man, the line's going in favor of Jack Della right now. He opened up at a minus 120. He's all the way up to a minus 140. And here, the path to victory is stuff to take down from Gilbert Burns. If Gilbert Burns gets you down, he's like a bull constrictor. He's going to go out there and go for the kill. Strikes landed per minute. I got to go with JDM in here, man. I've been going back and forth on this spot. I'm taking JDM. I think he has a path to victory. I think he could win inside the distance. Next fight. Banger alert. Kevin Holland, 25 wins, 10 losses, taking on Michael Venom Page, making his debut from Bellator. 21 wins, 2 losses. Opening lines, minus 130 for Kevin Holland on here. Fight IQ, can't trust neither of these guys. Fight resume, I'm going with Kevin Holland. Striking, both these guys are similar, but I think Michael Page is a better striker. Finish ability, I'm going with Kevin Holland. When it comes down to it, I think Kevin Holland has more path to victories to win. If Michael Page does that karate type of stance, which he always does, and makes it hard for Kevin Holland to hit off that target, it's going to be an entertaining fight and interesting on the scorecards. Both these guys are kind of similar when it comes to long range, and they like to strike. But I gotta go with Kevin Holland in there, man. I've been making money with him for a while, and when it comes down to it, when Kevin Holland is serious about the fight and wants to win, he shows up and wants to win. So I think he's going to be able to get this one done. But this is a fight that I want everybody to sit back and watch, man. And keep watching the videos that I drop because, hey, the pick could change by Friday on the finished fights, go the distance or not. Who knows? Co-main event time. Dustin Poirier, 29 wins, 8 losses, taking on Benoit Saint-Denis, 13 wins, 1 losses. Benoit Saint-Denis opened up a minus 130. He's all the way up to like a minus 260. Dustin Poirier, come on, I don't got to say the accolades. We all know where he's been. We all know what he's done. When it comes to the fight IQ, I give him a B. Fight resume, I give him an A. Finish ability, I give him a C. Cardio, I give him a B. Saint-Denis, I mean, he's an up-and-coming fighter, the dark horse in the division. Last fight out, put out, Matt Frivola in a good fight. And then who else was it? It was somebody else that he bounced off of. But, man, he's been getting those wins, back-to-back, showing, hey, man, he's daily with the submissions, too. A real Marine out there, put in the real time in the armed forces and everything like that, and the secret services. Benoit gets it done inside the distance. Main event time. Sugar Sean O'Malley. 17 wins, 1 loss, taking on Marlon Vera. 23 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. This is a rematch, folks. And I ain't going to sit here and waste your time, man. Cheeto won the first fight because Sugar Sean, got kicked in his ankle and his ankle thing went out. His ankle went out, we want to say. I think it was a freak injury. Everybody does. Sugar Sean O'Malley's going to win in this one, folks. He was a minus 350 favorite in that one. He opened up a minus 210 in here. I played him at that line, man. I think Sugar Sean gets it done any way he wants. Cheeto Vera's not that good. He's 2-5 in his last 5 fights. Only reason why he's fighting for the belt is because they have that drama already. The guy that beat him to where he wants to defend that win. Path to victory. TKO, round 2, round 3. Set him up. I think it's going to be... Started off to the body in high. Let's go, man. Let's go with the head kick, man. Give me a stunning head kick for Sugar Sean. But, hey, if this goes to the later rounds, we haven't seen Sugar Sean in the later rounds, so we'll see, how it goes. It is the championship time. Now, look, man. It's Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. I'm going to be going over everything for you guys all week. I'm going to be dropping my fights finish or go the distance video. Then I'm going to drop you guys with my UFC 299 parlay. Let me know what you guys are betting on. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. MMA Locker Room here, part of Pick Dawgz. If you can't roll with the Pick Dawgz, stay on the porch. UFC, bet with Millz. See you guys next.